Most people think Mercury retrograde is travel delays and lost emails and communication mishaps. And while that is all true, Mercury retrograde in Cancer is going to ask a question. And this question is, what if the thing returning isn't a problem to solve? What if it's a memory, a feeling, or a pattern that still needs your attention? Cancer is the sign of memory, not just the memories we can consciously recall, but the emotional memories that live in the body. The patterns we absorbed long before we had language, the expectations, the loyalties, the fears, and the coping mechanisms that became part of us long before we understood what was actually happening. So Mercury governs how we think, how we interpret, how we communicate, and how we make meaning. When Mercury turns retrograde, the mind stops moving forward and begins looking back. Now, Mercury is going to be retrograde in Cancer from the 29th of June, which is the same day that Jupiter exits Cancer and enters Leo, and 29th of June to the 23rd of July. That's when Mercury's retrograde. Now, I want to revisit something. When Mercury entered Cancer on the 1st of June, this is very important, he was OOB. He was out of bounds. I do have a video on out of bounds planets if you want to really learn about out of bounds planets, and if you want to discover if you have an out of bounds planet. Really important that you learn whether or not you have an out of bounds planet. But anyway, an OOB planet is a planet whose declination, which is its angular distance north or south of the celestial equator, exceeds 23 degrees 27 minutes. Because this is the furthest north or south that the sun can actually travel. What does this mean if you're not interested in the technical interpretation here? It means that an OOB planet is not answering to the sun. He is not answering to the king. He is rogue. He is doing whatever he wants to do, but within the scope of his abilities, right? And so Mercury, when he is OOB, he is very mercurial. He is very Mercury. He is very talkative. He's very expressive. Okay. Now, I don't want to lose my train of thought here. Uh, he was an OOB planet when he entered Cancer, and OOB planets have they take on like a retrograde quality. They have a Uranian quality to them. They are rogue, they are rebellious, they're doing their own thing, but they're also chthonic. Well, in this particular case, Mercury is chthonic because Mercury retrograde is a chthonic Mercury. What is a chthonic god? A chthonic god is a deity that is traveling, from the underworld, in the subterranean realms, and moving through the worlds, the three worlds, underworld to upper world, and delivering messages, from the spirit world via dreams, etc. If you're a medium, delivering literally direct messages from spirit. So what am I getting at? He is doubly chthonic in Cancer, because in esoteric astrology, Cancer is the gates, it's called the gate of man, or gates of man. I think it's gate of man. It's where the soul incarnates. Capricorn is the opposite, where the soul leaves, right? So it's where souls come into the world, and there's this deep connection to bloodlines, to ancestors, to our ancestral our ancestral lineage, our generational gifts, what has come down the line from our ancestors in terms of gifts, but also curses. But let's not get into that. And so Mercury is touching on all these things, and I want to just interject here. You can, Mercury is very busy here with me. What's happening here as well is Mercury wants us to know that a bloodline is more than just, a family tree. There's people on a little tree that you've got a little graph on your wall. It's more than the photographs. It's more than the physical traits, the skin color, the eye color, the whatever. It's more than that. It is your bloodline is also an energetic system. Okay, that needed to come out. Right. Over the coming weeks, you may notice that emotions are going to resurface, and they're going to be old emotions resurfacing. It's going to be conversations from the past returning, family themes appearing again. Questions that you thought you had already answered are going to demand a deeper response, but a more evolved response from you. This is particularly significant because Mercury is retrograding through a part of Cancer recently activated by Jupiter. So Mercury is going to retrograde between the degrees of 17, well, 27 is moving backwards, 27 degrees Cancer to 17 degrees of Cancer. So you want to think back to what were you doing, or what was happening in your life? What stands out from August 2025 to February of this year? Stuff's going to come back. You're going to have to readdress those things. You're going to have to tie loose ends. You're going to have to finish things up, or reconsider things that were in motion during that time. Now, remember that Jupiter has been in Cancer, and expanding the themes of that house for you, whatever themes, your house themes are, your Cancer house. Expanding those themes for a year now, opening new possibilities around belonging, emotional security, family, home, and your relationship with yourself. And these themes are also are being touched again by Mercury. But again, I have to repeat myself here. It's at a deeper level, and it is Mercury saying to you, if something is still preventing you from belonging, from feeling emotionally secure, from having a family of your own, from having a home of, a house, a shelter of your own, it is somehow tied with these this emotional inheritance, these unconscious patterns that you've inherited from your ancestors. It's come down the line. Let me know in the comments if this is making sense. Okay, this is just, I feel like it's a download coming through me right now. The next thing Mercury is saying here is, are you aware of it? Are you aware that this is the problem? It's not you. You are not, it's not your karma not to have a home. It's not your, it's not this curse that you can't have a proper job and security. Well, however you're thinking, it goes deeper. It's a pattern that you've inherited. It's a fear. It's low self-esteem. It's this continuation, and you're perpetuating it. And now you have to decide if you are going to be the pattern breaker. I do offer a reading on breaking the pattern, by the way, and a course. Please visit my website for that. I also offer a recording. I call it the emotional shift, and the links are all in the description box. That changed my life, and I know it will change your life. But anyway, check out the description box. So Mercury wants you to go back over the last few months, that particular period, August 2025, August 2025 till February 2026. and ask yourself, what have you learned? What were you supposed to have learned? What lessons presented themselves during that time for your consideration and for your absorption and integration? And did you just intellectualize it? Do you think you got the lesson? You've learned it. It's in your head. You can repeat it. You can write it out. You can teach it. But actually, have you embodied it? Is the lesson living in your cells? If it's not, then you haven't learned it. Okay, so I think I've gone on a bit too long here. During a Cancer retrograde, I often encourage my clients to pay less attention to what they are thinking and a lot more attention to what they are feeling. You want to focus on that. This is how the universe is going to communicate with you, um, to you, with you, through you. This is how the people in your life are going to communicate. You're going to notice it's not about what is said, it is about what is felt and what is expressed energetically, right? It's you have to start noticing, where does your body contract, when and where, with whom. You know, who are you with when you find yourself bracing? What conversations are you leaving? What conversations are leaving you feeling heavy, feeling defeated, feeling depleted? What situations repeatedly activate the same emotional response from you? Because the body remembers what the mind has forgotten. This is typical of Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde never brings new information to the surface. It is always information that you've been carrying along that is ready to become conscious, come to the light. The thing that needs to be touched on here in this video is Cancer is where instinct becomes intuition. People mistake, they confuse instinct with intuition. Instinct is an immediate thing. It's the body's ancient survival intelligence. It's when you react to the bear chasing you. I've been in that situation. I wasn't chased by a bear, but I was in very close proximity to a huge black bear once, and I just ran, which is not the thing to do. Not the thing to do, but I just ran. It's just your body's reaction to anticipate danger, right? So your body remembers what hurt before, and it not necessarily even what hurt you before, but what hurt your ancestors before. Okay. So running from the saber-toothed tiger, all of that, it comes down the line. And so it remembers every time that you brace, every time you protect yourself, you withdraw, you appease, you cling, you cleave to something, because at some point those responses did help us survive. Now, many of us spend years mistaking these conditioned responses for intuition, and they're not the same thing. Intuition does not arise from fear. Intuition arises from a deep inner knowing. It is a relationship with the divine. It is in relationship with the divine. It is the divine. It is spirit talking to you, communicating with you. It's this quiet knowing that emerges when the nervous system is no longer dominated by the old threats and the unfinished stories. Now, I could sit here and tell you many stories of how my intuition has literally saved my life time and again. And I'm sure you too have stories to share on how your intuition has saved you, spared you, guided you. And if you'd like to share one of those stories, please do leave a comment. I love hearing from you. Okay, so what is this Mercury retrograde in Cancer going to feel like for you? You know, e- emotional. for sure. Mercury is no longer out of bounds, but this is going to be a Mercury that is going to ask you to turn inward, to be more, to rely more on silence. Don't talk too much, just listen more, observe more, and pay attention to your dreams. If you've watched my other video on Mercury, I think I've done a couple of videos on Mercury. You will know I repeat myself. Mercury delivers the messages from the spirit world through our dreams. Our unconscious mind communicates with our soul. Our soul communicates with us through our dreams. So you want to be paying attention to your dreams. And you want to trust your intuition. You want to trust your intuition. You want to be guided by your intuition. Okay. So before I go, if these are the kinds of conversations you're interested in, if you're curious about the deeper psychological and emotional patterns that shape our lives, I invite you to join me on Substack. That's where I publish my longer essays exploring topics like the mother wound, the emotional inheritance, self-belonging, and the hidden stories we carry from our families into adulthood. Many of the ideas I touch on here begin as questions in my astrology practice and then become much deeper explorations in writing. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I post weekly astrology. I try to stay consistent or be consistent. I am writing a book at this time, so let's see if I can keep up this, keep this pace up during summer, but I don't know. Anyway, my astrology goes beyond the predictive and into the psychological, the spiritual, and the embodied experience of living these cycles. Until next time, take good care of yourself and be gentle with whatever Mercury brings back for review.